So the first real job I had was at 16. So in my country, you need to be 18 to work without your parents' approval. It was a restaurant. I went there with my mom, asked if they're hiring. They said yes, told me to come back. I came back alone, told me I need my parents' approval. Even though they saw me coming with my mom last time, they said that they need my parents' approval written on a paper. Told me to come back after a week to work at 7 a.m. Just to clarify, I had no contract. I had to work for at least 3 days for them to see if I was a good worker for them to hire me. So after a week, I went there prepared, learned a few tips on the internet on how to be a waiter. So when I was going there, they would be so amazed by how many things I knew already and hire me on the first day. So when I went there, they told me that the first thing I have to do in the morning is to clean the tables. Basically, the whole restaurant needed to be cleaned. First chore that they gave me was to clean the outdoor tables. Basically, to take all the glasses inside to the bar and to organize the outdoor space. So I started cleaning the tables. I began with the ones that were the closest to the door that leads to the bar. So when I finished with my first table, I needed to take all of the glasses to the bar. So when I was leaving, one of my colleagues screamed, "Hey, be careful, there is a small ladder inside. Watch out so you don't fall." So the hall that connected the outdoor space with the restaurant, for some reason, had all of the lights turned off. And there was a small ladder that if you were not careful, you could fall. I forgot how you say it in English, but basically I needed to be very careful to not fall. So I took the glasses, went inside, and knew that I had to be careful, and I still fell. Broke all of those glasses. I mean, it wasn't even my fault. Why would anyone let all of the lights turned off? Especially if you know that there is a newbie that is not familiar with the place. And my fault. Like I did. So the same colleague came because he heard the glasses broke and looked at the mess, then looked at me and gave me a simpler thing to do. He told me to fold the tablecloth. And in that moment, I knew, I felt that they're not going to hire me. So after 5 minutes, another colleague calls and tells me that for that day, I was finished and that they'll call me back when they'll need me next time. And guess what? They never called me back. I felt so sad because I found my first job. But deep down, I knew that it wasn't my fault. How can you know a person is good enough for a job in just literally 20 minutes? Literally, I was sad because I didn't even have a chance to prove myself that I can do this. So because I didn't have a contract and I literally worked there for 20 minutes, I can say that that was my first real job. So my first real job that I worked and got paid was still at a restaurant. So me and my sister were looking for a job and we found a restaurant that was hiring. We went there and when we arrived, the boss told us that, yeah, we need you to help renovate the restaurant. What? So basically they were looking for painters and help for construction and stuff like that. I don't know about you, but saying you want to hire waitresses and then tell us that you want us to paint the restaurant, I don't know about you, but they are not the same thing. So just to clarify, they had 3 weeks to renovate the whole restaurant so they can open it. After the restaurant would open, then we will work as waitresses. So you may be thinking, why would they call us 3 weeks before the restaurant opens and not after so we can work as waitresses? You'll understand later. We took the job because we needed money. Helped paint the bathroom and clean the whole restaurant for 2 weeks. It was part-time, so we worked 4 days a week and 8 days in total. And after all of the hard work, he paid us. Are you kidding me? We were kids, but we knew that something wasn't right. One thing to clarify, we didn't help at the construction. We helped only to paint the restaurant and the bar and to clean. If they actually put us at construction, we actually wouldn't take the job. So after the restaurant opened, the boss told me that he wants me and not my sister, but I refused, of course. Now you understand why he needed help 3 weeks before the restaurant opened. Because kids are cheaper than painters. Don't get me wrong, at that time meant way more than now. But after so much work that we did, yeah, not worth it. When I was 17, I went to work as a waiter again outside of my city at a hotel. They offered the place to stay, so it wasn't a problem. Problem was everything else. I have some crazy stories that I want to share, but this video is getting way too long. I expected, and I have a job too, so for me, video longer than 5 minutes is way too much for me. So, see you in part 2. It's gonna be very interesting.